everyone, good morning. Welcome to the Disney Morning Show. I am Kyle, and joining me this morning is Benjamin.
Hello.
Hello. Let's say some other hellos. I don't know if you remember, but you were in charge of the comments this morning.
I do not remember. Hi, Fred. Hello, Ulysses. Hello,
Genie Plus Plus.
Hello, Geo. Hello, Nikki B. Hello again, Fred. Spider-Man is not stopping. He did more than any other movie yesterday in a Monday box office. Benji? Yeah, that's me. Sorry, Fred.
Well, before we do anything else, we have to check in on the Disney stock price. Yesterday at this time, it was at 97.80. Let's see where it's at now. 98.33, which is up, but not as much up as the regular S&P 500, which if it was, that'd be great, but can't all be winners.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's almost like you need a weekly or daily Strait of Hormuz update to kind of track these stock prices.
Yeah,
tomorrow we should have a movement one way or the other.
Yep, we'll have Disney earnings tomorrow morning, bright and early. So if we do a morning show, you'll get to hear all about that.
Oh, thanks, Fred.
You're welcome on your own site, Benji.
You see your shirt, Kyle. Stand up. Do your twirl.
Oh, it's the Spider-Man meme, but with stormtroopers. Oh. And then I have an I voted sticker because I voted this morning.
Oh, was there election? I guess.
It's primaries, and we have important amendment issues. But let's get to the Disney news. Ben, did you know that Lakeshore Lodge is still happening?
Yes, because you can see it everywhere.
Yes. After a long delay, the project is continuing to move forward, and we're learning more about it. We got some new concept art this morning, including this Colors of the Wind Pocahontas-inspired lobby. They also gave us a look at some of the venues, including, let's see here. That's just the exterior. This is, let me check my handy dandy cheat guide here. This one is the Moonglade table service restaurant. There's also, this is the market. It's called Bay Lake Provisions. It's a quick service marketplace. It's going to be part of the hotel. This is a lounge called the Dandelion Terrace. Kind of makes sense with these lights looking like dandelion fuzz. And then there's also another one that I guess is not in here, but there's an outdoor pool bar called Paint Out Point Bar and Grill. So you can check all of that out. This is expected to open in summer of 2027. So we're getting closer to it. One day we'll see real photos instead of just these concept arts. But yeah, as you mentioned, if you are in the right place of the resort, you'll see a bunch of construction going on for this.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because remember this was originally like kind of going to be their healthy resort.
Reflections.
Reflections. I don't know that they're keeping that, and kind of like when I think of like wanting to be near Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness, healthy's not what I want to go for. It's like super comfort food, mac and cheese and chicken nuggets, whatever. But you're close enough.
Yeah. Well, speaking of comfort food, Downtown Disney and Hulu's Animayhem, which is basically the Fox animated cartoons that were on Fox are now on Hulu. And so they've basically taken ownership of them. And
don't you dare call it animation domination.
Exactly, because that's what the Fox block was called. But they're doing something really interesting. We got a Facebook or an Instagram post yesterday that kind of explained this. And then Mike went to do some digging and found that there was way more to it than they let on. So you get these 2 base buttons, and then there are 4 restaurants at Downtown Disney that each have a special menu and special theming to 4 different shows. So at Ballast Point, they're doing King of the Hill. They even have an Alamo beer, and there's a Japanese German fusion hot dog inspired by Bobby Hill's restaurant in the newer seasons of King of the Hill. Black Tap Burgers, of course, is doing Bob's Burgers. Naples is Futurama, and Splitsville is Family Guy. So you can go get those special menu items, and then you can collect the rest of the buttons that complete the set. Naples would not give us the Futurama one. Everybody else would give us the buttons without actually making Mike buy the burger. But yeah, I'm really impressed with it. Like giant chicken knuckle sandwich. Like, yeah, it's not the most inventive thing, but it's a lot of fun. And I like this promotion. So
someone's going to be in Anaheim quite a bit as we head into D23. It's kind of a nice little like collect all 5 kind of situation.
Yeah, you should go do that.
I just might. I might.
But we got news from Devil Wears Prada, which is now streaming on Disney Plus, and apparently, as we've seen in the Disney Plus top 10, lots of people are watching it.
Yeah, it is the #1 Disney movie debut on the service since
a live action movie.
It's live action movie since Deadpool and Wolverine, November 2024. So it has 15.2 million views during its first 5 days, which I always find funny because like they can pick whatever number. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 3 days, sometimes it's 5 days.
I want to know what goes into the science. They're like, which one looks the most impressive?
But you could look at it this either way. It's like, wow, it's doing really well. Or Disney hasn't had a major live action hit since Deadpool and Wolverine. So take it whichever way you want.
Yeah, blockbuster summer. They were right with Spider-Man and Toy Story, kind of lifting the thing. That's why they cautiously added Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man being released by Sony and sort of produced by Sony with Marvel kind of doing it for them is not even like a real. It'll be on Disney Plus eventually, but not until the Pay 2 window. So. It'll be on Netflix first. Not quite the same. Sort of like Blockbuster Summer and Spider-Man. So it's really Toy Story and Spider-Man.
Yeah, but Blockbuster Summer is also a lot about merch, and Disney does have that. That's why we're talking about.
They're very happy that the movie did well.
Yeah. The Joffrey's coffee we talked about yesterday. It's like, well, yeah, this isn't directly tied to the movie, but it's Spider-Man.
But speaking of things that Disney is associated with but not fully in control of, ESPN, as you know, had a major deal with the NFL, and now their fantasy football is being combined essentially with the NFL's official fantasy football. So now ESPN fantasy football is the official fantasy football game of the NFL. So what does this mean? Well, now there'll be a new knockout league style where there's elimination style format. Each week, the lowest scoring team will be removed. So I would be gone in week 1. There's also a new system of fantasy achievements. And the games that were on ESPN are now being rebranded with the NFL name in them. So Pigskin Pick'em, which we have played at Alpha in place since the dawn of time, is now NFL Pick'em. And Eliminator Challenge is now NFL Survivor. And Pigskin Win Totals, which I haven't played, is now NFL Win Totals. So you're seeing just more of that integration. Obviously, you saw a lot of the layoffs because of that integration I guess a week ago, 2 weeks ago. But as we head into the year of the Super Bowl for Walt Disney, which is kind of funny because it's like, obviously there's a Super Bowl every year, but this year it's the Disney Super Bowl, so there's a little more energy around it. And kind of streamlining the whole process here.
I had no idea that there were so many different fantasy football formats until I started playing with Mac. I'm in 3 different leagues. One is a regular league, one is an auction league, and one is a vampire. And he invited me to play what is called a chopped one, which I don't even know what that is. I'm just like, no, I'm good. I don't need to join any more of these.
What's a vampire league?
The Vampire League is actually really fun, and I was the vampire last year, and if I would have made one better move, I would have won it. But the idea is that everybody else does the draft, and then there's a vampire who, after everybody drafts their team, that person gets to go through and just try to make the best team that they can. Then if you end up beating somebody as the vampire, you get to steal one of their players. And like basically force a trade onto them. So yeah, because you shouldn't be able to win. So if you win early, then the rest of the league is screwed because you're going to be taking all the best players, even though you started with a not so great team. And I think I won in week 2, so I got pretty strong pretty fast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But speaking of getting strong fast, free alcohol can get caught up with you, and that's what you can get at the Food and Wine Classic. It's not free, it's included because it's a paid ticket. And they announced some of their menu items. I'm not going to read them off. I'll just show you photos of some of these items. This is, speaking of Mike Mack, his on the record favorite event at Walt Disney World. It's not even a Disney event.
Wow.
But yeah, tons of great food that you can be a part of. Tickets. This takes place on August 20th and 21st. It's from 5 to 9 p.m. And yeah, 50 food items and 170 beverages. So lots to choose from, highlighting the different restaurants at the Swan and Dolphin Resort, located on Walt Disney World property, but not owned by the Walt Disney Company.
I know this is big news for everybody, but I just got the email, so I'm going to share it. That Hulu has greenlit season 3 of the hit Australian original series, The Artful Dodger. Now, you may think, oh, this is a show that is about a dog that likes hot dogs and befriends a cat. It is not, but it is on Hulu, and presumably Hulu with Disney Plus, and includes the original voice for Ferb, who no longer voices Ferb.
Breaking news from 2 hours ago when Variety posted that.
Well, I got the email now, so that's.
I know they had an exclusive on it, but good to know. Now we can cut them out of it. Not So Scary is just around the corner, and we're getting some more details about that. First of all, we have the official description for the new Stitch show, which they just keep using Stitch, and it's somewhat of a new show, but it's just the same. Join Stitch and friends for an out-of-this-world interactive dance celebration. Stitch and his Ohana are on a mission to find the perfect Halloween look. There's only one problem. There are too many great options. It goes on from there. There's also going to be a Captain Jack Sparrow show. He has come to recruit new crew members and teach them to be pirates. This gallant quest, complete with a salty pirate band, daring jugglers, and sailors' superstitions, is sure to have everyone saying, "Aye, aye, Captain." But more importantly, they also showed us all of the merchandise. We had a little bit of a preview before, but now we're getting a look at all the different items that you can buy on party nights, including this vampire Mickey. I don't know how you're supposed to drink out of some of these mugs.
I don't think that's the point. I think they're like, it's sort of like those popcorn buckets. It's not really about conveying popcorn.
This is kind of a cool ornament with the Spooky Castle. Anyway, Not So Scary runs from August 7th, so just a few days away, through, of course, Halloween, October 31st. So if you're wondering why we're talking about Halloween, it's because it's only 3 days away. But popcorn buckets and...
Yeah, I was going to say, that segue is perfect. If you saw Captain America's Brave New World or the Fantastic Four, you could die.
No, your child could die. Well, I guess you could too. Don't eat batteries.
Don't eat batteries. Some of the popcorn bucket for Brave New World and 2 drink cups, one themed to Invisible Woman and one themed to the Human Torch, have been recalled because the LED lights, the batteries that power those, are too easily accessible by small children and could cause a choking hazard. Now, to be clear, like if you drank out of this, it's no problem. Like there's no problem with the actual conveyance of popcorn or a beverage, but they just want to make sure your child is safe. So if you do have them, particularly if you have children in the house, please discontinue use. And you can receive a refund. They'll just need to show a proof of disposal, which imagine you throw it in the garbage can. In all likelihood, this is in a cupboard that you don't use because they're not particularly convenient all the time. But, hey, you can get your money back for that impulse buy you bought at the AMC theater.
Now, are they trying to figure out, well, the cup itself is only worth $5. You paid $10 for the soda, or how does that work?
That's a great question. I didn't actually buy any of these, so I don't know that I can like try and find out. But if you did, in the comments, let me know. Yeah, obviously these things, Gio, like a lot of safety stuff goes into them, but these are usually produced fairly quickly because of the movie. So it's not exactly a shock that these things happen, but just glad everyone will be safe and hopefully no one ate a battery.
Well, with that, let's get to the review.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
I'm not going to segue that, but Benji had a chance to see the new Disney Worldbuilders documentary. So rather than read you his final paragraph, I thought he would just talk about it.
Yeah, obviously I love Leslie. I think she's made some great documentaries, Hand Behind the Mouse, Designer Crafted in particular. And if you've seen her one about like election interference, that's also great. But this one is interesting in that it's basically like a salute to all Disney executives, but mostly Bob Iger. And it doesn't come across that way in the marketing, but basically they go through each sort of studio and they talk about, how they get to be in the parks and how this is all, they were acquired by Bob Iger and thanks to Bob Iger. And it sort of feels like, they're paying tribute to Bob Iger, which in hindsight is great. I mean, Bob Iger obviously had a great legacy here. It's not inappropriate to, pay tribute to him as his time at the company comes to an end again. And, but I think you may come into it wanting a little bit more on the actual world building and how that happens and the process of WDI working with these studios. They talk about that a little bit, not so much. So I enjoyed it. It still made me emotional. So, and Leslie shot it beautifully, but I was just hoping for a little bit more. It's under an hour. It don't come into this expecting handcrafted too. So.
Yeah, so you can check that out at the D23 Ultimate Disney Fan Event and on the 16th. And then it comes to Disney Plus on August 20th. You can watch it for yourself. And we'll have more about that at D23 too, I'm sure. And the rest is where we sometimes visit other theme parks and see what they're up to. And at Universal, they have Squishmallows. So they have Night Fury, who you might know is toothless, and then Light Fury. That's why there's a black one and a white one. These Squishmallows are available exclusively at Universal Parks and Resorts or on shopuniversal.com, and they're $30 each. They're very cute, but I don't know if they're $30 cute. Plus shipping if you're buying from Shop Universal, I'm sure. Yeah. Any thoughts on this?
I mean, Squishmallows are cute. I know people are really into them, and I don't begrudge people, but there's a Disney Squishmallow, so and How to Train Your Dragon. I enjoy the movie, but I'm not exactly like eager for more dragon merchandise. Particularly since there's so much of it, at Epic.
The colors on Light Fury with this blue and this pink remind me very much of Ghost Spider. So there's that. You can find those at your local Universal Parks and Resorts. I wonder if that includes Universal Kids Resort.
That's a great question.
Or on shopuniversal.com.
Part of the Go.
Sorry, what?
Part of the Go Network.
Yes. Well, the Worldbuilders fun doesn't stop there because Benji actually had a chance to chat with Leslie Iwerks recently and did a piece kind of highlighting some of what she had to say about this documentary and the people she got to talk to and more about Bob Iger. And also you can hear that full interview on an upcoming issue of the Laughing Place Unbalanced podcast, which should be out today, I believe. So you can check out that article over on Laughing Place in the meantime. And then, Ben, you were a busy boy over the weekend because you were in the Palm Springs metro area.
Is that considered a metro area?
I don't know. You said it's not technically in Palm Springs.
You're true, but metropolitan does not quite seem to since everything is like 2 stories. But
You were in the world of the windmills, as I like to call it.
yes, I was at Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, or someplace in there.
Close enough to what's the Cotino?
Cotino. Went to the first Dancing with the Stars con. I enjoy Dancing with the Stars. I am not normally would attend Dancing with the Stars con if I didn't have to for work. But it was interesting. I went to Comic-Con 2 weeks ago or whatever. Was it a week ago? And then I've got D23 coming up. So it's sort of the middle con. It's the meat of my con sandwich. And each con is obviously different. This con was attended by a lot of people who don't normally attend cons. And it was also seemingly produced by people who don't produce a lot of cons. That doesn't mean that it wasn't a good time. Just means there were some weird operational choices. But in the end, so the first day they did something called, there's a marquee event in this basically arena each night, and then other activities throughout the day. The first day was Glitter Games, which was like basically I don't know what you call it, like Double Dare for Dancing with the Stars, like spray tanning people and stuff like that. The second night was Mirror Ball Madness, and that was basically like an extended version of their tour with a little bit more celebrities, a little bit more pros, a little bit more special moments. That was perhaps what they considered to be their marquee event. The last event, which I was kind of dreading, but ended up being my favorite, was something called For the Fans, where they had picked 8 fans to train over the weekend to dance with a pro. And just seeing their packages, before the video packages, and then seeing them dance and the excitement and the engagement with the pros was really cool. And I gotta say, the thing about the pros was, a lot of times if you're at a Dance with the Stars con and you're a Dance with the Stars pro, like you're going to be inundated, but you never once felt like they were not happy to see you. They would even come up to you and be like, I don't care if they tell me not to talk to you, I'm going to talk to you. They had this thing called the selfie wall where you basically lined up on this wall, and then they would do a selfie, like kind of walk down the line and do selfies with everybody who was assembled. You didn't know who was there. And that was some feedback that people got, was like, they get in line for autographs, but they didn't know whose autograph they were going to get. And that was partly intentional, right? So you don't create sort of chaos. But in the end, I think, it was a good time. I think it was a good for a first year con where you don't quite know what you're doing and you don't quite know what people are going to be responsive to. It was great. Didn't love the $50 a day parking.
I saw that as I was clicking through the photos.
That was a bummer. We went so the first day we paid the parking, like whatever. Second day we showed up and they hadn't like set up to pay for parking yet. So we're like, oh, okay, $50 for 3 days. That's like it's not great, but it's not unreasonable. But then we left to go get dinner, and then we came back and they were asking for another $50. And I was like, oh, we just got here before you were set up. Good to know. But that was, I think it was a little $150 for parking for 3 days, a little egregious.
Well, especially if you did they give you a ticket? Like if you did leave for lunch and had already paid in the morning, would you have had to pay again?
So here's the thing, like it's not like when you go, they like offer you a ticket. So when you come back, they're like, oh, I have to pay. And like, well, do you have a ticket from earlier? And I'd go like, no. And then you'd be like, and then so you pay, and then I'd be like, well, wait, how do I get a ticket? And it's like, oh, well, you can take a picture of my phone. I was like, okay. So like it seemed like that was their excuse, but then they weren't proactive in giving you an ability to do it.
Yeah, that sounds annoying, but it sounds like a fun time. The way you describe it, with like the interactions with the pros and stuff, makes me think of like private cruises, kind of like that, where everyone, they're just around, you're all captive on the same ship, and so they're much more like receptive to having those conversations. But you got to do a couple other interviews in addition to Leslie, who we were talking about earlier. One of them is on Janice Leanne Brown.
Yeah, essentially the star, which was Beyond Waiver Place, talking about her favorite season, or her final season. But also, I'm just so impressed with her. She's so balanced. Like she appreciates this opportunity. She looks forward to her challenges, but she doesn't come across like she's ready to move on and be an adult. Like, not that that's not, not that she's not growing up, but that, you can have Disney Channel be a part of your heritage, but also, do other things as well. Not, a lot of times, we talk to these folks and they're just ready to move on. And not that she's not ready to move on, but she's not, trying to cast it aside and doing an interview out of obligation. So it was nice, good to see her, good to talk to her, good to see her grow up over the last couple of years. We interviewed her before the show debuted, and it was just neat to see. And then, I also interviewed David Henry, who obviously on the first show was, he was a teenager or young adult, but a kid, and now he's playing the adult, goofy adult, Disney Channel trademark. And like what he learned about that, what he brought to those kids, and hearing Janice talk about David and how much she respected him, I think was just kind of cool.
Yeah, and you can also watch both of those interviews one after another on our YouTube channel and listen to them on the upcoming episode of Laughing Place on Location coming out later today. All right, sir, are you ready for your quiz?
Laughing Place on Balance.
Yeah, what did I say?
On location.
Yeah, they're one. I got too many things. I got to do 2 of those too.
Fair enough.
All right. On this day in 1901, a musician was born. He's performed at Disneyland in the past, and he inspired a character in a 2009 film.
So, born in 1901, has played at Disneyland in the past.
Yes.
But not currently, presumably.
Presumably not. No. Okay. But his.
So, and what year was the film?
2009.
So Princess and the Frog, Louis Armstrong.
Yes. Good job. We got there. 1955, an actor was born. His Disney credits include Tombstone, Armageddon, and Alamo.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes.
Only know that because that's the only person who's been in all 3 of those.
Theoretically. 1968.
Theoretically. No, I think we know for sure.
Okay. This day in 1968, an actor was born. Yesterday was Evangeline Lilly's birthday, and today another lost actor's birthday.
That's all I get?
I mean...
Is it a male actor or a female actor?
It's a male actor.
1968.
I think he was on for most of the run, at least.
Did he produce an ABC medical drama?
I don't know.
Was it Daniel Day Kim?
It's Daniel Day Kim.
Yes, he did.
Which one?
Good Doctor.
Oh, that makes sense. Because that was a Korean show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. On this day in 1992, not 1, but 2 Disney stars were born.
Oh, Cole and Bill Sprouse?
Dylan and Cole Sprouse. Yeah, born in Italy, apparently. Did not know that.
Wow. Were they born in a hotel? Or
maybe, with a silver spoon in their mouth. On this day in 2000.
That was Ricky Schroeder, right? Is he still around? Ricky Schroeder? What happened to Ricky Schroeder?
He was in Favreau's clan. He directed stuff.
Oh.
Thought. Right? Or is that...
I don't know.
That's Peter Billingsley, maybe.
Oh, Peter
or maybe
Billingsley.
Both of them.
Yeah, no, Peter Billingsley and John Favreau are tight. But
okay, yeah. I confused Ricky Schroeder. And finally, on this day in 2000, a movie was released. You can... go to a version of the location of this movie in Las Vegas at the New York.
Disney movie?
Disney released movie.
Oh, so Touchstone, presumably?
Yeah. It's either Hollywood or Touchstone. Who would know?
Me.
Well, then you could tell me after you get it right.
I just wish I knew more about New York Casino. 2000. Oh, Coyote Ugly.
Coyote Ugly, yeah, starring Piper Perabo and John Goodman, and yeah, there's a couple of Coyote Uglies, I think, but there's one in New York.
Now I want a Gone in 60 Seconds experience in Vegas.
They could, or at Walt Disney World, replace the Richard Petty racetrack. Cool. Well, that's going to do it.
That was Touchstone Pictures. You are correct.
Touchstone. let's do the 10 a.m. refresh before we sign off. We do have another walk and talk today scheduled for 2 p.m. There will not be a Barely Necessities because Becca is out of town, but there should be a Disney Trivia Live tonight at 7:30 p.m. So get your trivia brain ready. There's something about Chalk Walk that I don't think is news, but you can look at our coverage of Chalk Walk as Michael Celestino was there on Sunday. And not seeing anything.
Looking at my little service we use for these things, I guess there's some options movement on Disney stock. So I'm trying to see. I'm going to double check the Disney stock price and see what that means. Just for my own edification. I know you guys don't care, but Disney stock is basically flat. So, so much for that.
All right. Well, one day we'll get back over the Disney 100, but Fred's asking if he'll see us tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll have to be Benji once again. So I'd have to check Benji's calendar.
Benji has a meeting.
Okay. So then, no, you will not see us tomorrow. Is the moral there?
Nick, did we do it?
Oh, that's right. I'm like, I don't see it on your. Yes, I do at the top. Okay. And with that super inside LP watching, and we will see you all probably Thursday when Tony gets back. Bye.